That was not loud.
Go ahead. All yours.
Welcome to our FPL podcast of Game Week 11.
11.
Yes. Game Week 11. We are talking about the games which happened in Game Week 11, and of course, we'll give you insights about Game Week 12, which is coming up this weekend. So here is Big Man Joe and myself, Rocket Man.
Hello.
So, yeah, we'll talk about our teams. Big Man Joe, take it away.
Yeah, so on Sunday I thought, okay, it was going to be a okay haul given average was around 44 and I got 55 something, and then I opened it up today and then I'm saying, okay, there's a big swing. I think once Westergaard scored. So, I mean, 73 points is good for me given how way back I am. So, crawling back up the points is good for me. Captain choice was okay. I mean, I captained Fernandes who got 6 points, whereas I could have still gone with Kane. I don't know why did I change that, but still fine. At least everyone pretty much delivered. Yeah, the sad part was I don't have any. Okay. Did you notice this? So Martinez here, he played the game. He got the minus points and got blanked, and then Pope came on for me. Did you see that? I just saw that now. So that's crazy. So his points also got counted for some reason. That's
But how did Martinez play the game?
yeah. I think I showed you that. So he got a -2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so if his points become 0, your goalkeeper swap? Is that it?
I don't know how that works, but yeah, I don't know. Pope has come for me. I don't know how. Yeah, and then both the defenders, Konza and Sainz got 0. So now I didn't get anything there. But yeah, 73, 10 points more than average is good, climbing up the ladder. So overall, good game week. I think. The funny part was everyone was bringing in Jota, and then Jota blanked the game week, and Sane scored. Not Sane, Salah scored, and then I think. Salah scored, and then maybe Mane got as well. 4-0. So I don't remember who it scored. So that was a weird.
Among these three, Salah was the one who scored. Yeah. Before we discuss about your game further, we'll talk about mine, which was decent considering that I played a free hit. This week I went for it because 4 of my players from last weekend didn't have a game this week, so I went with a free hit. I got a new players like Mendy, the goalkeeper, Mendy, the defender from Man City, Chilwell, Walker Peters was always there, De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Vardy. So I would say most of them worked out well. Mendy, the defender, got 6 points. The goalkeeper not so much because Chelsea had an error with Leeds and they considered a goal. So Chilwell and Mendy didn't do that well. De Bruyne worked out really well. Should have gone with him as my captain, but I switched to Fernandes. I never get my captains right, so yeah, that's there.
How about we address that? When you're thinking about captain, what do you look at? Do you look at fixture? Do you look at form? What do you see there?
I look at the form with the fixture. Since De Bruyne had Arsenal to play against, and
He was in form.
He was in form, yes. That's why I said, and the fixture.
Yeah, but I told you about the same thing. You don't remove Kane just because he's facing a massive team. No? It's the same logic.
But I did remove Kane because
and you lost the points there.
Yeah. De Bruyne played against.
12 points from Fernandes is fine. But yeah, of course, if you're captain with De Bruyne, so that'd be 14 minus 6. So another 10, 8 more points you have to go. Yeah.
So that's my captain choices every week. I think it's worked out only once till now, where I captained Werner and got 26 points from him. So that's been my game. Okay, that's from my side, but I want to address his points. He got in Zuma.
Yeah, long back.
Yeah. He has Vestergaard.
Yes.
Yeah. And he has Bamford against Chelsea.
Yes.
And all these three got 8, 9 and 8 points respectively.
Yes.
Please let us all know your thought process behind selecting these players? Please let us.
Bamford was no, like I had Jimenez, so there was no option there. I had to change Jimenez to Calvert-Lewin. So
Yeah.
I just keep Bamford as my budget striker because there's there's no other option there, right? Callum Wilson is a little more expensive than this guy, so there's no budget striker there. So I just have him there. So whenever Leeds score, it's usually him who gets the points, even if they're losing. Like if he scores one goal, he gets the point. Zuma, I don't know. I saw his around maybe game week 9 or 10 where you can see the haul here, right? He got 9 and 14 points. So I thought, okay, now that Silva's coming around this point, we can have at least one defender from Chelsea. And since he was the cheapest, I was not convinced to Chilwell. Not that he can't score, but he was 1.2 million more than Zuma, so I could have spent that elsewhere. So I took Zuma in just for that. And Vestergaard, I'm just looking at his returns pretty much every game week. Since game week 3, guys, it's 6, 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. That's consistency, So, and the fact is he's a defender, so every time he goes for a set piece, he's getting a goal. So that's insane.
Mostly because of his height.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's my only thought about it. There, nothing too crazy. So now I think the only question is, do we try to fit in KDB into this team, or do we wait for him, or is there a suitable alternative for him? I don't know at this point, because now I can't put in KDB into the team because I've spread out the finances elsewhere, unless I remove Fernandes, which I'm not sure I want to do that. Other than that, I'm just let's hope that this team can continue scoring, because way down the order. So let's keep racking up the points, keep going up.
Talking about scoring, our league this week has been all over the place. There has been tight competition up there, down below, everywhere.
So let's go with some of the high scorers. Freeze got 84 points. Fantastic. Sushruth got 81. Ashwin Shankar got 84.
Abhay Anand got 89.
Yeah,
and the highest scorer was Vishnu Nair
with
90.
Congrats, Vishnu.
Yeah, he triple captain Salah. Whoa, wow. That's very bold decision.
That's nice.
That's what we hope to see.
I don't know if you guys know, but I want to tell you about a triple captain story from last year or 2 years back. Do you guys remember the game week where Liverpool went to City and they beat them 4-3? And you remember we were watching it in our friend's house?
Yes.
The four of us were there.
Yes.
And we were watching the game. We were looking forward to it because it was going to be an insane match. And the way Liverpool beat City that day with all the goals they were scoring was insane. And then I dropped the bomb in there that I triple captain Salah on that day. So Salah scored 14 or 17 points that day, and I got 3 times that much. So that was, and everyone was asking how did you predict you were going to do that? I said no, it's just I think that season Salah was insane. No, you remember that season?
It was his peak,
Yeah, so I think I just went.
This boy right here is the king of intuitions. When he thinks.
When I get it right, I get it right. When I get it wrong, it goes terribly wrong. So
but the thing is, when he gets it right, he puts the ball out of the park. So So pretty good haul. He had Werner who got an assist, 5 points. Bamford, of course. DCL got a goal as well. Yes. Son, Salah triple captain, 42 points right there.
And that's pretty much his whole team basically.
Yeah. He had Zuma as well with 8 points. So it's a very bold move, and we like to see people making such moves with their intuitions, going with their gut.
Check out the sponsorship here. I started noticing this in the games.
Yeah.
Rainbow laces everywhere.
Yeah. This is a game for all. That's
diversity and this and that.
They're promoting, So Vishnu Nair was our highest goal scorer this game week.
Congrats to Vishnu and his team Marlborough. So
and also if you are watching this video, just drop down in the comments and tell us how did you think Salah will reap the benefits of your triple captain, and why did you go for triple captain this very game week, and why Salah? So let us know down in the comments there. So we'll move on to the next game week. We are looking at the Manchester Derby.
So interesting dilemma there for people who want to bring in KDB or who have Fernandes. What are you going to do? And I think I'm going to still captain Fernandes, or maybe I'll go for Kane. Who does Spurs face Crystal Palace? So I think maybe we go for Kane if you have Kane. But if you have Fernandes, I think he will still get the points. I think both of them, KDB and Fernandes, this will be a high scoring game. I don't think out of both of them, I think United defend a bit better, but they're very consistent. So it will be interesting to see how this game goes. And in terms of players, I think if you have Rashford, Martial, Fernandes, I think it's good to keep them for this game.
Also, you can look into Kane and Son, who are going up against Crystal Palace, who have not been that great with their defense. But again, they're coming off from a win where Zaha scored 2 and they won 5-2, I think, the last game week. So they're also looking sharp.
They're facing the leaders, and I think Spurs are in good form. Mourinho is getting the tune out of them second season. We know how he does in second seasons. So, yeah.
So that looks like an easy fixture for Spurs, but it's going to be interesting as well. But the straight fixture, I would say, is Liverpool versus Fulham.
Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Fulham have not been really great this season. They have been leaking a lot of goals. They have not found their rhythm yet. So, yeah, Liverpool will. If you're looking into Liverpool players, Salah, Jota, yeah, I'd say still keep him. Mane as well. Mane is getting up to the mark now, so he's gonna be good too. Arsenal, Burnley. Do you think is a straightforward fixture?
Not with Arsenal, no. I think they can still draw or lose this game the way they're playing right now. They have to win this given how their form is. Yeah, talking about Jota, I think because if you're going to people getting him in, he's 6.8 million, and so he is a bench option in that logic. So when if he's getting the points for you, fine. But always remember, he's pretty much coming out of the bench for 20-30 minutes, so it's very very difficult for him to get anything more than that. So Liverpool, Fulham, I think that's pretty straightforward. Which match am I looking forward to besides the derby? I think Everton Chelsea is also pretty good. I think
it would have. I would say it would have been good if we are talking 1 month ago.
Yeah.
But now considering Everton's form, I don't. Yeah, I would still be biased to Chelsea, considering their form.
Considering you're a Chelsea fan, yes, you would be biased against Chelsea. Yeah, let's put that out there.
Biased with Chelsea, not against Everton. So yeah, but also it can turn out to be an upset. You never know. You can expect DCL to win some headers, or he can if he wants to turn it on, he can turn it on. So yeah, that's there. Ziyech is injured for Chelsea, so he won't be there for at least 2 weeks from now. Yeah, so they'll probably be playing Pulisic and Werner out wide with Giroud. Coming to Giroud.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good time to get him in?
I will answer that. Just looking at how he's playing at the moment, I would say. But what is his price point? I just want to check that. Can I see by fixtures? Abraham at 7.2. How is that possible? I mean, just looking at 6.7. And yeah, I think if you're not convinced with Bamford, maybe you can bring him in. But he passes the eye test. Just looking at him play, he's playing insane at the moment. He's scoring goals.
But will he play?
Yeah, we don't know. We have the Pep Roulette and we have Frank Lampard's another word for that. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, possible. It's a good differential. It's a good punt for this game week.
Yeah.
I feel he will play against Everton, given how their backline is.
Yeah,
I think he might play.
So yeah, who missed out this game week? I think it was Aston Villa. Aston Villa did miss out this game week.
In terms of points?
No, they didn't have a game.
They didn't have a game.
Because their match was postponed because of some reasons.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, the next fixture is Wolves, and Wolves haven't looked that great.
They're missing Raul.
So
unfortunate for Raul. Yeah.
So Aston Villa will be a good investment for cheap defenders or midfielders. Grealish, I wouldn't say, go for him. Like he's a must buy, but he can turn out to be a
He's
differential.
Good differential, yeah.
Yeah. So Jota and Grealish, you can look between the 6.5 to 7.5 mark. Ziyech is out injured, so you can try to get in Son if you don't have him yet. If you have Ziyech and you want to swap him off. And Rodriguez, I don't think he's performing to his mark.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for anybody from Everton, I think it would only be DCL, no one else. Southampton, however, you can look into Vestergaard, you can look into Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yeah.
Ings is not. He's.
I don't know what's happened.
Yeah, he's ghosted now, so I don't think Ings is a very good choice now. So yeah, like the Manchester Derby, maybe Fernandes, maybe KDB. That's up to you to choose. So, what is your prediction among those two?
Do we make our hashtag bold predictions this time around? Yeah, but it has to be proper bold. Hey, what about our last week's prediction? Did it work out? What did we predict?
Our episode was never posted, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's there, but wait, let's just think about it. I think, what did we go for? It was. Do I remember? I don't even remember.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so. Okay, maybe I'm gonna write this down this time when I make my prediction.
So, what is your bold prediction for this game week?
It's not making. It has to be proper bold, so I'm gonna go with Aubameyang hat-trick versus Brighton. Just, yeah, that's proper bold. Bold as in unrealistic, bold as it may or may not happen, but it's better than saying, you know.
Mitrovic hat-trick against Liverpool.
Yes, that's bold. Yes, my mind gets it.
So, I would say Sheffield United will get back onto their winning streak this game week. They'll thrash Southampton 3-0.
They have some interesting start where they in the last 70 or 80 minutes they always lose the game. Like if they're on 1-1 or if they're 2-1, like the last 80 minutes they concede a goal and they either draw the game with the
Last 80 minutes or last 10 minutes?
The last 10 minutes.
10, yeah.
80th minute onwards,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, so that's also interesting. I don't know why they are like that. But yeah, I think that's a good bold prediction. Some reasonable predictions.
Reasonable predictions would be Fernandes winning a penalty,
Yeah, that's
winning it for United against City.
Yeah.
That would be a very bad
Yeah.
slap on the face for City because they haven't played up to their mark this season. They're getting back on it, but if United upset them this game week, that would be a huge blow to Pep.
I think they are coming back to form now with the last few game weeks. How KDB and Mahrez and all were playing is pretty good.
But so are United.
United, yeah. I mean, you know how the game goes for them. They play like shit for the first half. They bring in Fernandes for the second half. He tears it up, and then that's how they win. So that's kind of how they're playing right now. So, and they turn up for all the big fixtures. They don't care about the small fixtures. Some reasonable predictions for me would be maybe Vardy 2 goals or even a hat-trick for Brighton. Chelsea, of course, I think Giroud can score and will score 1 or 2 goals. Maybe Jack Grealish 1 or 2 goals against Wolves. That's also pretty reasonable.
Possible. Yeah. Wolves haven't been like a strong side, especially after Raul got injured. So yeah, they look like a vulnerable side. But for me, interesting fixture is Leeds versus West Ham.
Yeah, kind of both. West Ham especially, I mean, the form they are at and Leeds all going up and down. So that's going to be interesting. I think West Ham might win this game. Leeds will give them a proper show, but I still feel West Ham has that tenacity, that physicality with Antonio, and they're playing at a...
That's the thing. I love to watch Leeds play, but they can lose focus and to lose the game. So yeah, considering West Ham's composure this season, they might just sneak it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that will be all for the next week. Yeah, that will be all from today's episode. If you have any questions, you can drop down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Of course, if you have people who play FPL, watch Premier League. You can always share such videos. You can help us grow our community as well. So that will be Big Man Joe and Rocket Man signing off from this week's FPL podcast. We'll see you next week. Ciao. Don't do anything.